who is politically inspired, there would be a motive to lie. There would be a motive to say that I will go before you so that his life is spared. Mansur does not even suspect the slightest motive on the part of Imam Ja'far Sadiq alayhi salam. In other words, Mansur accepted that the word from him is the word of a Sadiq. It would be truthful in its perfection. There would not be an iota, a scintilla of ulterior motive in the reply that the Imam alayhi salam would give him. Whether that reply was beneficial to the Imam or harmful to him, it would emerge from his lips only. I repeat, only because it is the truth. If Mansur had that knowledge and accepted that that was the level at which the Imam alayhi salam was, then how does one explain the psychology of the man when soon he makes 3 more attempts to assassinate the Imam alayhi salam? Well, I am at pains to put these matters over to you, to show that he was a person who was not only respected for his knowledge, and hence it is safe for us to obey his commands and follow his footsteps. He was trusted by his die-hard enemies. They also were out to give us such testimonies of the confidence they reposed in the words of As-Sadiq alayhi salam. But once he was sitting in Qasr al-Ahmar, as it is called, the Red Palace. And it is said, he would sit in the Red Palace when he wanted to shed blood. Hence the palace was called the Red Palace. And when he sat in the Red Palace, everybody knew what the Red Palace means. And the Imam alayhi salam was called over, and he was called over to the Red. Orders were issued at night that he should be brought over to the Red Palace. Rabi'a knew what that meant. Rabi'a decided he would not go and arrest the Imam alayhi salam personally, that he would send his son Muhammad to do so. Because of his sons, Muhammad was the most cruel, the most hard-hearted. So Rabi'a chose him for this task and said, the orders are, bring him in whatever condition you find him. Already in the small hours of the night then, Muhammad says, when I got to the house, I saw a little candle burning. So I realized that the Imam alayhi salam would be awake. Pushed the door. It was ajar, and I went in. When I went in, I saw that he had only one cloth around him and was in the state of prayers. Well, that is how he was at nights, in those hours. So Muhammad says, I just allowed him to finish those prayers that he was reciting. The moment the prayers are over, the Imam looks at him and he says, orders from Mansur that you accompany me now. So the Imam alayhi salam said, look, do me 2 favors, allow me to recite 2 more rakat of namaz. Muhammad says, no. Orders are, I must take you immediately in the state in which I see you. So he says, let me then dress, because I'm not even properly dressed. I only have this one apparel around me. And Muhammad says, no, I will not. So he says, allow me to make a ghusl. That's my final request. Because you are taking me where my death will be caused. So if I am going towards my death, I want to go in a state in which I have performed a ghusl. Muhammad says, no, all that is forbidden. You come to me in the state in which you are. So the Imam alayhi salam is taken now to the Red Palace, barefooted and bareheaded, just with this one garment on him. And when he reaches there, Muhammad says, I heard Mansur shouting, why isn't Abu Abdullah here still? Soon he says, I saw my father Rabi'a there. Rabi'a came over. And Rabi'a says that when I saw the Imam alayhi salam in that state, I myself felt great pity on him. Well, this is a hard-hearted executioner saying this. What do we Shias feel about it then? He says, I was taken by great sympathy. I went to him and said, we're doing this entirely out of command of Allah. And he immediately said, Rabi'a, I appreciate your sympathy. But if that is how you feel, let me recite 2 rakat namaz now. Rabi'a went back to the time when he arrested the Imam alayhi salam on the first occasion and saw the effect of those 2 rakats. So Rabi'a said, I decided I will give him the opportunity to do so. If that means Mansur is angered, so be it. So be it. What in a rush because of the clock? I omitted to tell you, but I feel I must go back to it to make sense about what I'm saying. When the orders were given for the arrest of As-Sadiq alayhi salam, Rabi' said, I was two-minded now. I had seen what happened at the first arrest. I knew about that snake. I said to myself, how can I be a party to this? How can I allow my hands to go and arrest As-Sadiq alayhi salam? I will not. But the greed of the wealth that Mansur gave, the greed of the palaces in which I lived and my family lived, I ultimately was lured by the by the ostentations and the temptations of the world, and I fell prey to them and decided I will not go, but I will send my son to go and arrest him. Now he begins to change altogether. Having seen the Imam alayhi salam in person, he allows him to recite 2 rakat namaz. The Imam does and again recites his supplication. When he recited his supplication, Rabi thought, now the Imam alayhi salam is in the proper shape to go. So he takes him in. Before he enters, he recites another supplication as he enters. Mansur, full of exasperation, as we saw in what happens in the Red Palace, turns to the Imam alayhi salam and says, O grandson of the Prophet, you still have not given up your jealousy against us, and you still have not given up your efforts to topple my government. And the Imam alayhi salam says, O Mansur, I have done neither of those. I am not guilty of any of those allegations. I harbor no jealousy against you, for I have no reason to do so. And I have not taken any step to topple you, because I have no reason to do so. Mansur had his sword with him. Rabi' says, this time even an executioner was not to be used. He takes out his sword, it was in the sheath, and says to the Imam alayhi salam, why do you want to tell me a lie? Because what you are saying is a lie. The Imam alayhi salam says, no, it isn't. What I have told you is the sidq, it is truth. Whatever you know, if it is contrary to what I say, is the lie. So Mansur turns around to him and says, look at these letters. I've got 100 letters from Khurasan, from the people of Khurasan. And they're all letters written by you. You have written to them saying evil of me, saying that my government is unjust, it should be toppled, and that people should make bay'ah to you. The Imam alayhi salam looks at those letters. Having looked at those letters, turns to him and says, Oh Mansur, these letters are forgeries. This is a frame up on me, and you would have the curse of Allah for being a party to this frame up. So Mansur is now even more exasperated, says, why do you say that? Why do you say these are frame up? He says, I am a person whose handwriting has spread far and wide. There isn't a corner of this commonwealth that does not have my handwriting. None of these bears my handwriting. None of these 100 letters has my handwriting on it. And if you are now not in a state of mind because of your anger to be able to read these writings and to appreciate that this is not my writing, check on them. None of them has my seal on it. What is amazing is the alacrity with which the Imam alayhi salam was able to examine those 100 letters in matters of seconds and put forward a poignant defense of that nature to Mansur. Mansur says, but what prevents me from believing them? The Imam alayhi salam says, the two reasons I have given you prevents you from believing them, and what prevents you from believing them is if you used your aql. He says, O Mansur, I lived in the times of the Umayyads. The Umayyads publicly hated us, publicly cursed us. Did you then know that in all those years that I made any attempt to topple them? Were they any more powerful than you are today? And if I did not make any efforts in those days, What cause do I have to make an effort now? But secondly, O Mansur, I could have caused all this trouble at the time when your predecessor became the Khalif, even under Abbasides after the Umayyads, and I didn't. I was then a younger man, O Mansur. Now I am 70 years of age. So you can see, at the age of 70, the Imam alayhi salam was inflicted into such oppression by Mansur. La'natullahi alayhi. Well, Mansur heard this. He already was removing the sword from the sheath. Rabi' said he would remove one bit and then another bit. By the time these arguments reached the stage, he had already removed the whole of his sword. But when these arguments ended, he immediately put the sword back into the sheath, turns to the Imam alayhi salam and says, Yabna Rasulillah, I received this information, but as you say that this information is all wrong, then I am prepared to release you now. Rabi' said, I knew too well that something more happened. Another snake arrived, because common sense was not the virtue of Mansur Dawanihi. So the Imam alayhi salam goes back. That evening he catches hold of Mansur. In fact, it is said Mansur went to sleep after that and didn't wake up until midnight. But when he woke up, he needed to speak to someone. He caught hold of Rabi' because Rabi' was supposed to be awake, guarding Mansur. He was a bodyguard as well. Mansur sees him and says, Rabi', you are still around? He says, yes. But Rabi', seeing that he's in a mood to talk, goes to him and says, I want to ask you something. Mansur says, ask me whatever you want to ask me. Whatever you want to ask, whatever you wish, I will fulfill it at this time. He turns to him and says, last night I was convinced you would kill Mansur. You would kill the Imam alayhi salam. You had the sword in your hand. You removed it from the sheath. You put it back, removed it more, put it back. The third time, it was out altogether. Then you put it in completely. What happened? He says, on your promise that you will not tell anybody, particularly the Fatimites, any son or daughter of Fatima alayhi salam. The enmity to Fatima existed till then. Alas, it should be existing till today. Mansur says, none of them should come to know. Otherwise, your entire family will perish in one go. This is crucial for me and for my government. Look at the way those governments were sustained under the name of La ilaha illallah, under the slogan of La ilaha illallah. What hypocrisy can enter through power, through the lust of power, even to denigrate and delete the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Well, he says, when I brought him those arguments, of course, I now feel were strong arguments, but I was in no mood to accept them. I was going by those letters. As I removed the sword from the sheath, I saw the Holy Prophet standing next to him. But then I said, these letters are there. The Holy Prophet will see them. So I removed more from the sheath. When As-Sadiq alayhi salam had discredited those letters, and I was removing the sheath, I saw the Holy Prophet come close to me. And when I had removed the sword from the sheath altogether, I saw the Holy Prophet in greatest anger. He now left the Imam alayhi salam, came towards me. I saw the Prophet come towards me, and as I removed the sword to raise it, I saw the Holy Prophet raising his hand towards me. I knew not what he would do to me. Maybe just hold my neck and finish me. He had the power of God with him. I did not know what would happen to me. I instantly put the sword back into the sheath. As I put the sword back into the sheath, the hand of the Holy Prophet receded. When the hand of the Holy Prophet receded, I threw the sword down. As I threw the sword down, I saw the Holy Prophet recede, but stand at the side of the Sadiq. And indeed, when I released the Sadiq alayhi salam, the Prophet went out with him. And it is when the Sadiq alayhi salam was out of my sight, was the Holy Prophet out of my sight. If there is any doubt today, and I recite this, not only to show what the Imam alayhi salam underwent, But to make my last point, as we finish and move to Masai, to make my last point, that if today there is any doubt of that close proximity and association between the Holy Prophet and Imam Sadiq alayhi salam, then let the words of Mansur uttered in that secrecy of the small hours of that night be proof of that proximity that the Holy Prophet holds to this descendant of Fatima Zahra salamullahi alayha. But harassment of the progeny of Fatima Zahra alayha salam had become almost the trend and fashion of these tyrants and despots. Indeed, so many should have gathered in Karbala in such vast numbers only to kill one son of Bibi Fatima Zahra alayha salam. And so few should have come over onto his side to fight for him and sacrifice their lives for him. Well, so few were there that Bibi Zainab alayhi salam turns to her brother and says, "Oh my brother, isn't there a friend whom you can call? A friend whom you can trust, who would come and assist you in this hour of need?" And Imam Hussain alayhi salam says, "Yes, my beloved sister, there is one I can call." And on that 4th of Muharram, a letter goes to Habib ibn Mazahir. We turn round to Habib and say, "Oh Habib, there were those of the kith and kin of the Imam alayhi salam. There was Muhammad ibn Hanafiya, there was Abdullah bin Jabir, they were all kept behind. And look at this, a letter of invitation to you, a letter of invitation to come and sacrifice your life for Imam Hussain alayhi salam." When the letter reaches Habib, Habib starts crying, saying, "Into what state has the grandson of the Prophet been lowered that he should be writing such a letter to me? What station do I have at this age that he should have remembered me?" But he knew it was that love and friendship of childhood, that childhood friend who, being close to Imam alayhi salam at that time, gave moral support to the Imam alayhi salam. Habib moves on. He gets into Karbala. When he gets into Karbala, the Imam alayhi salam receives him with two hands. There is flurry in the camp of the Imam alayhi salam. Bibi Zainab alayhi salam sends Fizza to find out what has happened, what the flurry is for. Fizza comes back and says, "Oh daughter of the Grand Prophet, Habib has come to help the Imam alayhi salam." Bibi Zainab alayhi salam says, "Fizza, send my salams to Habib." Habib says, "Fizza, tell her I am not worthy of those salams. How do I become worthy of this invitation from the grandson of the Prophet? How do I become worthy today of the salam from the Holy Prophet?" We turn round to Habib and say, "Oh Habib, what are you not worthy of? You were given one salam by Bibi Zainab alayhi salam. Imam Hussain alayhi salam made sure that you are buried at his threshold. When we enter the shrine of Imam, Habib, we salute you first. Assalamu alayka, ya Habib ibn Fatah." And having saluted you, we go to salute the Imam alayhi salam. That is the status the Imam alayhi salam has given you. That is why when Habib was in his last breath, the Imam alayhi salam was there saying, "Oh Habib, your departure pains me. Ya Habibi, ya Habib. Oh my dear Habib, is this the time for you to go away and leave me alone?" Habib says, "Mawla, give me life again. I will go and sacrifice it again at your step." ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون رحم الله من يقرأ الفاتحة.